My friends, this is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine and the most caring doctor in medicine. Dr. B wants to remind you to never ever forget that after more than 30 years at high level in medicine, Dr. B genuinely loves you and Dr. B genuinely cares about you, and I say this from the bottom of my heart. Today, Dr. B wants to show you two essential, very important tools in your fight against being overweight and against obesity, and in your search for weight loss. The number one tool is this one. Pay attention to this. Do you see that? A mechanical scale to weigh yourself, right? I get this mechanical scale because it is accurate, and I have some weights, kettle weights, and of course tiny little weights that I use for my biceps and my triceps, blah blah blah, all over the place in my condominium, right? And I am able, by putting them on the top of this scale, to make sure that it is always accurate. And of course it's a mechanical scale. These are very, very accurate, unlike these stupid digital scales that you don't know that they break all the time and they are not always accurate, right? So the second tool is this tape measure. I am baffled. Simple tape measure, 50 cents or $1 that you can buy anywhere at any dollar store. I am always baffled when I ask my patients, when was the last time you measured your waist, right? With a tape measure, right? Every day I do that. They tell me they never do that. So patients who are overweight or obese, who come to our beautiful cardiovascular clinic for me to check their heart, right? They have never measured their waist, and they don't have a scale at home, and the only time that they check their weight is when they go to their doctor's office every few months. It is unbelievable, right? Two major tools. Do not forget the tape measure. I measure every freaking day my weight and my waist with the tape measure, right? I know exactly how much I weigh and where is my waist. I'm not going to tell you, but I will tell you later, because I just make sure that I'm always healthy and I don't even gain half a pound, right? If I gain half a pound, I go crazy. And remember to measure your weight in the morning, before breakfast, before water, before everything in your stomach, and after you have pooped, because you don't want in your weight to calculate the weight of your poop, right? But me, I poop just a little bit, so it doesn't matter anyways, right? I don't eat too much, and I don't eat any bulky food, so I don't poop much. It's just like a little goat. So even if I was to weigh myself before pooping in the morning, it wouldn't change much. It wouldn't matter at all. Maybe half a pound or maybe a quarter of a pound, right? So you weigh yourself every morning. You get up, you go, you pee, you poop, and then you measure your waist. And then you weigh yourself on a scale, ideally a mechanical scale like this, that is more accurate than these digital ones. Make sure you still check it by little weights that you put on it to make sure that it's really 5 pounds, really 10 pounds. You know, in the weights that I have, there's the number of pounds is written on the kettle weights, or is barbells or dumbbells or blah, 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 that I use for my gym in my condo. So, and then have a little diary, a little notebook where you write the date. Every day you do that. You put it in your bathroom, right? You write the date, keep the pen over there. The date, you put your weight, and you put your freaking waist, right? And that's it. And you follow how much you weigh. You follow how much is your the circumference at the level of your waist, at the highest level around your waist, right? And you see if your diet is working or not. If your lifestyle changes are working or not. And make sure that every week you measure your BMI, body mass index. You get your body mass, your weight, not in pound, but you convert the pounds in kilograms, and you divide it by your height, not in inches, but in meters squared. Very easy. You have this formula everywhere online on the internet, right? So make sure that you put your weight in kilograms. Look at the scale. You see the scale? It is in pounds, the scale. It is in pounds. So if you buy a scale that is in pounds and not in pounds, some scales, mechanical scales on the dial here, they also show you the kilograms, right? But if you don't have any, it's very easy. Get a calculator, you have the formula, right? 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, right? 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, and 1 pound is about 450 grams. Anyways, you can find this everywhere online, right? In 2 seconds. You have conversion calculators. So you calculate your body mass index at least once a week, so that you know where you are by dividing your weight in kilogram by your height squared. And your normal BMI should be between 20 and 24.9. Dr. B's BMI is very close to 20. Because Dr. B doesn't have no fat. My tummy is flat like a board. I have no freaking fat anywhere. My tummy is flat like a board. I have no sagging freaking skin anywhere. My ass is just muscle skin. My legs nice, beautiful. No fat, no fat. And Dr. B, an expert in medical imaging, when I take the ultrasound probe and I check my tummy, not even I don't have fat under my skin. There's not even any fat inside my belly. You know, this visceral fat that is extremely type of dangerous fat, the fat that you have inside your abdomen, inside your tummy. Why did I say not even? I apologize, it's getting late. Not only, my brain, I'm getting tired, I had a long day. Not only do I not have any fat under my skin when I check with the ultrasound probe, but in addition, I don't have any fat inside my belly. So you can achieve that too. Of course, I posted video about how to do that. I decided to go on the keto diet, but you can take the keto diet or the carnivore diet or the MASH diet or the Mediterranean diet. All these diets are perfect. It depends on you. For me, the keto diet is perfect. It fits my taste buds, my schedule, my lifestyle, right? And I don't want to have no meat in my body, so I'm not on the carnivore diet. But it doesn't matter. Choose any of these 4 diets and stick to it, and then check your weight, your BMI regularly, check your waist, right? And see if the diet is working for you, if you like it, if it fits your lifestyle, your taste bud. And remember, the key is to take one of these 4 diets to stick with it, but also to eat a little bit. Means when I open my mouth to eat from my keto diet, I eat a little bit of my keto diet. Remember, anything that is good, if you eat too much of it, right? The best diet in the universe, if you eat too much of it, right? It's just not going to work. You're still going to gain weight and you're going to become fat, right? So you know that. Means you have to adopt a diet that fits you. So try it for a few months. Try the keto diet, whichever one you like. The Mediterranean. If you are young, I personally would advise you to go on the Mediterranean diet because it has way more fibers and sugars than the keto diet. With the keto diet, I'm limited to maximum 30 grams per day. So it's not good if you're young and you are constantly running, biking, hiking, swimming, exercising, having sex endlessly, blah, blah, blah. You need a lot of carbs, right? And a lot of carbs are not allowed in the keto diet. But the keto diet becomes excellent as you get older, as your testosterone drops a lot, right? Like me, I'm 50 years young, so my testosterone has dropped a lot compared to when I was in my 30s and 40s. Well, I used to need a lot of carbohydrates to constantly swim, bike, hike, go out, go to the beach, blah, 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 go to the gym 3 hours. Now, after 2 hours at the gym, I'm done. Whereas I used to go to the gym 3 hours a day and then go do this and do that, and then at night have sex 3 times with my ex-girlfriend. I mean, it was crazy, right? Because of this high level of testosterone that you have when you're young. So you cannot go on the keto diet when you're very young, right? Unless, of course, you're fat and obese already, right? But I wasn't fat and obese. I needed this energy that is provided quickly by the carbohydrate. But now that I'm more mellow and more relaxed and more no more under the stress of testosterone at high level, I don't need carbohydrates, right? If I eat too much carb, I'm going to become fat, right? So choose a diet, stick with it, depending on your gender, right? Depending on your weight, depending on your age, choose one of these 4 diets that will fit your age, your gender, your physical activity, your weight, and and your age. Everybody's different, so you have to try. Trial and error, and what will guide you is this: the tape measure and the scale. And of course, a little notebook with a pen that you leave in your bathroom so that you can write your weight and your waist circumference. Every day you measure it, and every week, once a week, measure your BMI and make sure that eventually you fall somewhere between 20 and 24.9. Doctor, be very close to 20. Do not fall below 20, because then you will look like an anorexic and not good at all. But somewhere here is normal. Remember, if you are at 25 and above, you are overweight. So shoot to go into this range and shoot eventually after a few years to get as close as possible to 20, and then you're going to look at yourself in the mirror. You're going to love yourself. I look at myself I have a big mirror in my shower and in my restroom, and I look at myself when I take my shower or when I come out of my shower. I cannot believe I'm 50 years young. 50 years old, I look better than most 20-year-olds, right? Remember, 50% of the American young people, 50% are overweight and 30% are obese. 30% of young Americans are obese, 50% are overweight. I look better than 99% of my nieces and nephews and young cousins in my family, right? I look better than 99% of the kids in my neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's unbelievable what you can achieve if you have the willpower to do it, and if you dedicate the time and the energy to do it. It takes a few months to get used to any of these diets and to see which one you like. But again, you have a long life ahead of you. Start today, adopt one of these diets, stick to it, and God willing, you will age gracefully, because never forget that being overweight or obese is one of the major contributors to dementia, chronic inflammation, heart attack. I mean, a lot of nasty conditions are related to being overweight or obese. I mean, obviously obese is even worse than overweight, but even overweight is a disaster for your health. You will never age gracefully. I have never seen any of my old patients who come in our cardiovascular clinic who are very old, in their 80s, in their 90s. I have never seen any single one of them being overweight or obese. The people who are overweight and obese, they don't reach the mid-80s and mid-90s or late 90s or late 80s. They die prior to that of heart attack or stroke or cancer or blah, blah, blah. So it is mandatory, if you want to reach your mid to late 80s and mid to late 90s, and God willing, like me, want to reach 100 years of age, it is mandatory to not be overweight or to not be obese. As I said, in my beautiful cardiovascular clinic, I see dozens per day of patients every day for decades. Let's say less than probably 10 years, right, since I came to the US from Europe. I have never seen one patient who is in his mid-80s or mid-90s or late 80s or late 90s who is even overweight. It just doesn't happen. They die before reaching that age, and they die of many other circumstances, as I said, dementia, heart attack, stroke, heart failure, blah, blah, blah. It is mandatory to reach a normal body mass index between 20 to 24.9, obviously in addition to your high blood pressure, blah, blah. But it's mandatory to have a normal BMI in addition to your normal blood pressure, diabetes, blah, 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 if you want to reach an advanced age and age gracefully like a good wine. I love you guys. This is Dr. B. Regardless of your gender, political orientation, color of your skin, sexual orientation, religion, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I love you. I took the Hippocratic Oath more than 30 years ago to love every human being regardless of anything. Right? And Dr. B promised that I will never put my interest above yours. You will always be above me. And I will also promise that I will always bring you the scientific evidence. I will never BS you, unlike these fake influencers. I will always bring you the science, the scientific evidence. I love you guys. Put your comments, your question down there. I promise I will get back to you as soon as I have the time in my busy life. Kopkun mak mak, kopkun nakrap, sawadi krap. And I love you. May God bless you and keep you always healthy and successful with the help of Dr. B. Bye-bye.